So welcome to Boxing Media Hub. And yes, I've got another star with me. Before I go into it, this is sponsored by Falcon Contracting and Price Global Solutions. Yeah, got an up and coming star in the midst with us today. We've got Paige Goodyear. How you doing, Paige?
Yeah, all good, thank you. How about yourself, Joel?
Yeah, all good. You look nice and warm. That coat looks massive.
Probably because of how much I'm cutting weight for this fight, but
Yeah,
no, all good.
just
Free,
falling off you.
no, you know what it is? Like when I'm cutting weight, like I just find the cold so much. Oh, it's just freezing. I hate it. I'd rather be warm, obviously, than I would be cold. 100%.
Yeah. No, definitely. And someone's jumped in already and put, this is going to be good. Well, there we go. We've got pressure's on. But
I know.
yeah. So, Paige, when did it all start for you? When did you start boxing?
I started when I was 10, actually. I started down at Brooklands. I was there for about 11 years. The only reason I started was because I did kickboxing with my brother, but my brother quit because of football. And then my uncle actually knew my coach, Darren McDermott, and he was like, "Oh, why don't you start boxing?" And back then I was a little fatty, like a little fat kid. My dad got me into it because of self-defense, as a young girl growing up. And yeah, it just went from there.
A little fatty. What a lovely description of yourself.
Oh, well, like a little, growing up, like I was just chubby as a little kid. Like I was only 9.
It's like that puppy fat, and it almost. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like before you grow up and everything. So it's just one of them that I had to deal with. And then as soon as Maka was like, "Oh, I'll get you a fight," I literally did not stop running. Like eating wise, I was just eating veg, fruit, and yeah, I lost about 11 kg and got straight in there. Had my first fight and just got the bug for it. And yeah, here I am, 12 years later.
Did you find it easy to switch then? Because obviously, as a young kid, you're loving all the stuff that you really shouldn't be eating. I'm sure it was at the prime of chicken nuggets and all the rest of it. And you know what I mean? Was it easy just to think, actually, this is really what I want to do and I want to just crack on with it?
You know what? I think it was more down to I needed some discipline. I needed something to put me on the straight and narrow. I didn't have the best sort of childhood growing up. I've always been a daddy's girl. Stuff happened family wise and stuff like that. So I needed something to focus on. And as soon as I stepped into that gym, it was just something that I loved and I could just express my emotion with. And that was really important for me growing up. So I feel like I just put everything into it. It didn't matter if I had to lose 10 kg or 5 kg. Like, Maka inspired me a lot as well because he was pro. He did everything regarding the boxing, and he only was able to stop because he had a brain injury.
Yeah.
And then back when I first actually started, there was barely any girls in the gym. Like I was the only girl in my boxing gym, but now it's like I walk in a gym. Oh God, I'll best put that back on. I walk in a gym and it's like it's basically half and half. It's good, really good to see. To be fair.
Yeah. No, I can see you.
I know, yeah, but I like rocking my car.
So yeah, no, it's kind of boomed, doesn't it? And I think you're now, because how old are you, Paige?
I'm 22 now.
So you're 22. You're already a pro. You've turned at probably the best time in.
Yeah.
I don't like saying the term women's boxing, but in boxing for women, and
Yeah, for sure.
it's just booming, isn't it? The fights we've got coming up again. Obviously, Cameron Taylor 2 coming up,
Yeah.
which is a monster. We'll get your thoughts on that in a minute. But yeah, it's a great time, isn't it? And obviously, not so long ago, we had the Amanda Serrano doing 3-minute rounds, kind of another big movement towards that as well. So it's exciting times, isn't it?
You know, if you would have said 5 years ago if this was to happen, people would probably laugh. Um,
Yeah,
but it just shows that there's no limit, whether it's men's boxing, women's boxing. It's boxing at the end of the day. Like, I remember when I first joined boxing and, you know, you'd go into the pub with your nan. Like, I remember going into the pub with my nan and granddad and stuff, and, like, the old, like, my old granddad, my granddad's friends, like, they used to laugh at me saying, "Oh, your granddaughter's starting to boxing." I feel like it's just an old school manner now.
yeah,
I want to bring the next generation in so it's normal. Do you know what I mean? It's like football now. I feel like that's normal for girls to start playing. It should
yeah,
just be normalised, whether it's a young boy or a young girl starting boxing. Um, to me, at the end of the day, it's something that I love. It's something that I've always loved, and I don't know where I'd be without it. To be
yeah,
quite
yeah.
honest.
And do you know what? You've shown that. 4 wins from 4 fights. You got your knockout as well in your last fight.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
stoppage.
Mhm.
What was it? 29th of April, 22. I'm gonna try and say the name. Asensio was your first
Yeah.
fight. And then you fought the second girl twice, didn't you, in a row?
I
So you did
did,
a
yeah.
4 rounder and then a 6 rounder, and
Mhm.
pretty much won on the same amount of points in both fights.
Yeah, to be honest, on that fight as well, like the two fights were completely different fights, just because I wanted to try out different styles.
Yeah,
Um, you know, it's not all about having one trick up the book. You need to have lots in the pro boxing, and that's what I wanted to do. So the first one, to put it on a from the second round really, because the first round I had a bit of a slow start. But yeah, then I annihilated her, and then second fight again, bit of a slow start in the first, but then as soon as I got into my stepping stone, I allowed her to come forward because I thought, we need experience of boxing on the back foot. So then I just picked her off and got the win in that fashion.
do you think you're not being too hard on yourself though? Because that's like your second and third fight. You're kind of like sounding like,
Um,
I should have done this, I should have done that. You're
yeah.
learning on the job as well. It's,
Mhm.
you're still young in the sport, and you've
Yeah.
come out, and it's not easy to fight the same person straight afterwards because they would have figured parts of your game out. They would have looked at how you moved. You've gone
Yeah.
straight back in. You've done the job again. So hats off to you. That's a real, tough move to make, Paige, as well.
Yeah, to be fair, people always say that to me like that. I am quite harsh on myself, but you're the worst critic sometimes in yourself in
Yeah,
whatever you do in
100%.
life. And I've always been like that from growing up. Like I've always watched back my amateur fights and thought, oh, I could have done that. But it's easier said than done. When you're in the ring, it's like you're in a different world. Like you watch the videos back and it's so loud, but when you're in there, you don't hear half
You
of
like
it.
that?
Literally, yeah, you're in the zone.
Yeah.
Like you'll have certain voices that you hear. Um, you know, my coach Maka, he'll always be a voice that I hear. He from the get go, there's just like certain voices, and it's mad. It's mad to think you won't know until you're actually in the ring yourself. To be honest.
Yeah, yeah. It's like you just switch up, like blinkered almost, and you just
Yeah.
tune in to what you need to hear, as opposed
Mhm.
to if you took in every voice in there, blimey, some negative, some positive. Do you know what I mean? Your head would be all over the place. So for you to
Oh
just
yeah,
tune
for
into your
sure.
coach, you
Uh
know
huh.
what's ahead of you and in front of you. But as you say, you got your stoppage in your last fight.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, looking at getting back out in December. Well, 3rd of December, we're getting back out. Is it the Hangar Events venue in Wolverhampton?
It is, yeah.
Um,
I've not fought there before, so it'd be quite good to fight locally again.
yeah,
Get a good crowd there and get a good win before Christmas.
I bet you're buzzing, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in the camp now where like the training's hard, but we're in that kind of switch mode of like sparring and stuff like that. So then
Yeah,
the next couple of weeks we'll like not quieting it down, but change it up a bit with like sharp stuff and that. So we're getting close to the time now. It's about 4 weeks out. So yeah, not long at all.
yeah, yeah. Well, and before you go, because obviously you want to get in the warm at some point. Um, Cameron Taylor too. Now,
Mm.
massive fight. I'm sure you're looking forward to this one anyway. It's not too
Yeah.
far away now. First fight was a fantastic fight, to be fair. Both girls, both warriors.
Mhm.
They chucked everything at it. How do you see the second one going?
You know,
The first moment
you
in the
know what?
interview that Paige just felt unsure.
Now, I'm gonna have to say,
And it's in
Chantel
Dublin.
again. I know it is, but you know what? I feel like Katie's at the end of a little era now. She's getting on. She's 35. She's been in the boxing game a long time, and it takes a toll on your body. You know, I'm
Yeah.
22, and there's some days literally I can't walk. So never mind what a 22-year-old feels. God help what a 35-year-old feels.
And she's been
Yeah,
in the
I just feel
wars.
like
Let's be honest. Some of those fights have been
yeah, like
wars, haven't they?
Serrano, Pearson. They're all tough fights that she's had. She's not had an easy run. Hats off
Yeah.
to her, to be fair, because she don't take away a challenge. Like she's always like, yeah, I want this, and to
Yeah.
have it at Dublin again, it is going to be hard for Chantel to do. But I just feel like she's younger, she's fresher, she's at the right weight. Um, it's going to be some job to do again, and if she does it, you've got to give her a due. Do you know what I mean? It's to beat Katie Taylor in the backyard twice is something special, and
So
it'll
what are you
go
going
down
for
in
then,
history.
Paige? Stoppage, points. I'm gonna drag this out till I get what I want.
No, I'm gonna say Chantel points.
Yeah, yeah.
Points.
I,
So I'm gonna
I
say
I
split.
can't see a stoppage. To be fair, I
No.
think they're two girls that go out on their shield, and they're just going to stand there. And I think if it comes to toe, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
I just think they're both so tough.
I just don't
Yeah,
think they'll shy away. They've
no,
both got a heart of a warrior. They're both,
yeah,
it was shown in the last fight where they was stood in the centre of the ring and just pulling it out, and it
it
just
was
shows
incredible.
like, yeah, it was amazing. And there was glances where Katie was like picking her off, and she was sharp. Her hand speed was unreal, but there was times where you could see her age and how she slowed down, and Chantel was just non-stop with her punches and work rate. And you know what? Chantel's not scared to get hit.
Yeah,
Like she can take a good punch. She's not scared to take two to throw three, and that's
yeah,
what you need in the boxing, especially at that level. You can't be, Katie. Her whole aura can put you off, but Chantel did not shy away from it. But hats off to them both. They're not scared to go in the ring again, put on a
yeah.
performance for everyone. But I do see Chantel winning.
I think when you're elite, you take risks. I think if
Yeah.
you want to prove your worth and you want to show legacy, which is where these
Mhm.
two women are at, I
Yeah, for
think
sure.
I think you show your mettle really, and these are the
Yeah.
two women that are at the forefront. Don't get me wrong, Amanda Serrano, incredible. Clarissa
Mhm.
Shields, they're all there, but I
Yeah.
just think these two women, as far as British and Irish boxing, if you know what I mean, are just paving it. And
They're at the, they're at the top of the cream cake, aren't they? Really,
yeah, yeah,
as you put
100%.
it.
That's you
They've
thinking
come
of
from.
cream cakes, though, isn't it?
Yeah. It is. Oh, I've got a sweet tooth. Not gonna lie.
Well, after the 3rd of December, you can have a cream cake, get the Haribo out, you'll be ready to go, you'll be fine. Just in time for Christmas. But
I know. Yeah, buzzing. To be fair, good timing.
exactly. You can pig out as much as you want all the way up till Christmas, but
Not too much, mate. My nutritionist and Steve, my coach, will not be very happy.
we won't show him
Honestly.
this. We won't show him. But
Nah.
honestly, Paige, it's lovely having you on. You're an absolute star. As I say,
Thank
you've
you.
come off a great start already. Looking forward to next fight, and then it just rolls on for a big 2024 for you. I think it's just going to get bigger and
Definitely.
better, and you've got a good team around you. You've got the right work ethic and attitude, and yeah, it's good times ahead, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. And I've got the experience under my belt now. Coming up to my fifth fight, so 2024 will definitely be going for some titles for sure. So exciting times. And thank you for having me as well.
Honestly, it's a privilege, and hopefully we get to get you back on again soon.
Yeah,
Get
definitely.
to follow your
After my
career
fight,
and
after I win, fingers crossed.
100%. There's no fingers crossed, is there? You've
Nah.
you've done it. You're ready to go. There's no.
Exactly. The hard work's near enough done, so I know what I'm capable of. It's just getting in there and putting on a show for everyone else.
Yeah. So Paige will be back
Yeah.
out 3rd of December, and then the cream cake will be out on the 4th. So keep an eye out on Paige on all of her social media pages. Show her your support as well. Hit the subscribe button here, and yeah, just get behind Paige. Remember the name, Paige Goodyear. She's going places. So I'll let you go before your car battery goes flat with your light on, and I'll see you soon. Thank you very much, Paige.
Thank you, Joel. Bye bye.
Take care. See you later.
Yeah, bye bye.
Bye.